Welcome back, Algebros. We are going to go through a couple more examples of polynomial long division for you to hopefully start to see some more patterns and so on and so forth. So number 3 here, we have x cubed minus 4x squared minus 22x plus 60 divided by x minus 6. So we're going to have x minus 6 on the outside and x cubed minus 4x squared minus 22x plus 60. So again, x minus 6 cannot go into a single term because it is a binomial. It cannot be divided into a monomial. So we're extending out here. X goes into x cubed, x squared times. So again, you ask yourself, what would I have to multiply this term by to equal this term? So I take x squared times x, which would give me x cubed. X squared times negative 6 would give me negative 6x squared. And you can see that when we stack it up correctly, cubes are with cubes, squares are with squares, x's will be with x's, and constants will be with constants. Because when you're combining numbers or polynomials through addition and subtraction, they have to be like terms in order to actually add and subtract them. So it works out perfectly. Now the big mistake that I see happening a lot is not paying attention to or understanding that you're subtracting this whole line. So you're individually subtracting each term. So x cubed minus x cubed would be 0. Negative 4x squared minus negative 6x squared would actually be a positive 2x squared. So you can, if you need to write it off to the side, it would look like this, which two negatives would make that a positive, which would result in a positive 2x squared. Again, x minus 6 cannot be divided into a monomial, so we bring this down. We have negative 22x. Oops, sorry. So now we have to ask ourselves, essentially, what can I multiply x by to equal 2x squared? And that answer would be 2x. So 2x times x would be 2x squared, and 2x times negative 6 would be negative 12x. So just like in regular division, we're going to subtract that. Remember, we're subtracting the whole line, so don't forget that that subtraction sign applies to both terms. 2x squared minus 2x squared would be 0. Negative 22x minus a negative 12x would really be negative 22x plus 12x, which would be negative 10x. Again, if you want to see it off here to the side. So now we have 0. X minus 6 cannot go into a monomial, so we're bringing 60 down. And again, we have to ask ourselves, what would I have to multiply x by to equal negative 10x? And the answer would be negative 10. So negative 10 times x would be negative 10x, and negative 10 times negative 6 would be positive 60. Again, we are subtracting the whole line, so negative 10x minus a negative 10x would be 0, and 60 minus 60 would also be 0. So we are left with x minus 6 times x squared plus 2x minus 10. And again, I'm not concerned with fully factoring them today. Today I'm more concerned with you practicing the long division process. So not to overload you, because we could do some more with that trinomial. but that's not the goal for today. All right, number 4. X cubed plus 13x squared plus 34x minus 8 divided by x plus 4. So we're going to divide by x plus 4. X cubed plus 13x squared plus 34x minus 8. And again, x plus 4 is a binomial, so it cannot go into a monomial term, so we have to expand our vision out here. And again, we want to ask ourselves, what could we multiply x by to equal x cubed? And the answer is x squared. X squared times x is x cubed, and x squared times 4 would be 4x squared. And just as in regular division, we are going to subtract this. X cubed minus x cubed would be 0. 13x squared minus 4x squared would be a positive 9x squared. Again, if you need to see it expanded out, and x plus 4 is a binomial, meaning we cannot divide it into a monomial, so we have to bring down 34x. And again, what do I have to multiply x by to equal 9x squared? And the answer to that would be 9x. 9x times x would be 9x squared. 9x times 4 would be 36x. And again, we're going to subtract this whole line. 9x squared minus 9x squared would be 0. 34x minus 36x would be negative 2x. We cannot divide a binomial into a monomial, so we have to bring this down to make this a binomial. And again, what would I have to multiply x by to equal negative 2x? And the answer would be negative 2. Negative 2 times x would be negative 2x, and negative 2 times 4 would be negative 8. We are subtracting the whole line. Negative 2x minus negative 2x would be 0. Negative 8 minus negative 8 would be 0. So leaving us with x plus 4 times x squared plus 9x minus 2. Again, the purpose of today is to practice the long division, right? So you have a few problems for your assignment, and happy mathing.